that belong to the VCU libraries that perhaps you haven't had the opportunity to use before. I want to take you through the steps for looking for information in some of those databases and give you some keys to having successful searches when you do use them. I'm going to start first with the Oxford English Dictionary, or the OED. And whenever you're using these resources, I strongly recommend that you either use it on a VCU computer on campus in the library perhaps, or that you log in through the portal so that you have your centrally authorized EID, that you have easy access to all these resources. Go to the VCU library page, obviously, and the first box that you know is going to be the search box, which is going to give you too wide a search. If you simply go to databases and for the Oxford English Dictionary, of course, click on the O, uh, it will come up for you. The Oxford English Dictionary, as I think we talked about in class, is unique in that it offers both comprehensive definitions of words, but also gives you chronologically specific definitions of words. So I want to stick a couple of words in here so you can see the sort of thing that I'm talking about. For example, often students think they know what the word fabric means, that is to say a piece of cloth. Were you to look at it in the Restoration in the 18th century, as you can see just even from the brief definition, it can mean a building, which can be confusing for students if you're reading a poem that talks about a fabric and you think it's a piece of cloth, but no, it's in fact a building. A word that we've been talking about a lot this semester so far is the word wit. And you can see if we look at the word, and you always have the option to go to a brief entry or a full entry. And depending on what you're doing and why you're looking for it, I always recommend going to the full entry so you can get a complete sense of what the deeper meanings and what the more contextually specific meanings of the words might be. As you can see, wit has a number of different meanings, many of which, of course, are relevant for us, so that you can find highly specific moments, and we will find the one that is perhaps most relevant for us, um, to give you a sense of exactly what it is that term means within, again, different contexts. Everything from mental facilities, as it can be broadly understood, being out of one's wits, to the idea of great mental capacity, which is, of course, more consistent with what it is that we're thinking or talking about. The kind of interesting thing that as you can see here, when you have the OED, is that it gives you specific examples of where the word appears. So it'll list, for example, the date, 1681, tell you an author, in this case John Dryden, and then give you the specific citation from a specific work in which it appeared. The other sort of interesting thing with that is, as you can see, if you click on it, you then learn about the more specific context for that. In this case, it'll give you information about the author. It'll tell you whether there's an entry in the Oxford Dictionary of National Biography, the DNB, which we're also going to talk about, and it'll give you additional information for almost any of these citations. So it's just a good way to get more information. Just a couple of other words that we might want to check on. I think you're getting the idea. The word ramble is a word that appears, for example, frequently in Man of Mode. That we've seen the Rochester poem with the title Ramble, and you can see that, as with any dictionary, you have your noun and your verb, and it gives you full entries with both the etymology, which can often be really relevant and indeed interesting, and then again the different uses as they go through. So that is the Oxford English Dictionary. If you become a real bibliophile and you want to know even more about some of these words, you have a lot of different categories that you can work through. You can sign up for the word of the day. And the other nice feature of this is that it will always retain the searches that you have done, any searches that you have saved, and it can also let you sort of skim through the dictionary as you would a dictionary if you had a hard copy. So for example, we're here on ramble. Well, we can see not just the noun ramble, verb ramble, but other derivatives from ramble, other words that come from that, as well as the date which they were used. So that will be really useful for you depending on what kind of research you're doing or what it is you're interested in learning, in terms of learning more about the language for the text that we're looking at. So that is the Oxford English Dictionary.